Welcome everyone, and today on this episode of Clutched, we're going to have a closer look at the very sought after Audi A4. Okay, so there's supposed to be two engine variants to the Audi A4, right? A 1.8 litre version and a 2 litre version. But the funny thing is, when I actually contacted Audi Singapore, they told me that they've phased out the 2 litre version of the A4 because it actually costs more than the A6, which is a slightly bigger version. So if you're planning to get a 2 litre A4, you can't. Alright, it's either a 1.8 litre turbocharged version or a 2 litre turbocharged A6. There is another option though. If you really want to get a 2 litre A4, you can go for an older version. Now the thing that I don't understand is, if the 2 litre A4 costs more than the 2 litre A6, why did they even bother with the 2 litre A4 in the first place? Anyway, this is indeed a very executive looking car, you know. It doesn't have a very pointed down look or anything like that, but instead it's got a very elongated, wide and a stable look. The moment you look at it, you already know that you're going to have a comfortable ride. Indeed, a very handsome looking car. Although, when you compare this to the other two German giants, I'm talking about BMW and Mercedes, you realize that those two brands, they've been doing a lot to change the outlook of their newer models. And you don't really get that with this Audi, you know. It looks pretty much the same, maybe just a little bit of tweaks compared to the older model. The A4 is indeed the kind of car that, you know, would make your mum proud, you know. It's something that she can tell, you know, hey, you know what? My son, he bought an Audi A4. And indeed, they have every reason to be proud because this really is a solid car. And I feel that it's only recently that Audi actually caught up to its German colleagues, the BMW and the Merc, you know. Because before that, I remember when I was a kid, it was always BM Merc, you know. But right now, I think Audi is really stepping in to give them some serious competition. I can't prove it per se, but I really feel that one of the very, very big game changers for Audi is when it released the Audi R8. Okay, just like how I was saying that right now you cannot get the 2 litre version. This is actually the 1.8 litre version, alright, that I have, but it's the older model, which means it comes with all kinds of features like controls on your steering. You've got aircon vents on the rear, you've got navigation, GPS. You see, you don't get all of that if you go for a brand new model from Audi. So if you do manage to find this model, trust me, especially if you are into buttons and gadgets, you're gonna love this, right? Because it's flooded with all kinds of things, right? You've got Audi's very famous MMI, right, which is the computer-based system, right? The computer infotainment system that I like to call it, right? Then you've got a start-stop button, you've got keyless, you've got gadgets, you've got sensors, rain sensors, you've got cruise control, you've got all kinds of things. I think the only thing that this car can't do is make you a cup of coffee. You know, if you're the kind of person who loves this kind of stuff, you're really going to love the console. I've sat in quite a number of luxury cars before, but I really feel that apart from just one or two plastic pieces here and there, I think Audi did a very good job with the interior styling. Even if you're not an executive, I think the car is going to make you feel like an executive, you know. Right now I'm in the back seat of the A4, and I only can tell you this. I sat in the back of a 3 Series, I sat in the back of a C-Class, and I really feel that this is more spacious. Same thing, you know, your doors, you've got storage, you've got speakers. Check this out. You've got an armrest over here, of course. You would expect that. You can pull this down. You can press this out. Wait, sorry, do I have this? Yeah, there you go. You've got your cup holders right there. And the most important thing, you've got rear aircon vents, and you can even adjust the temperature of your rear aircon. You even have a cigarette lighter over here, so no, not for lighting cigarettes, but of course you can plug in a charger, you know, to charge your mobile. So passengers who are sitting at the back can also charge their mobile devices. So it's a very, very good car if you really are a family-orientated person, because it's going to be nice. Mommy is going to love the back seat of the Audi A4. Boot space is humongous. Once again, that I believe is thanks to the elongated design. You can knock down the rear seats, but hold on, that's only for the older model. If you're going to go for the brand new ones that you get from Premium Auto, which is the Audi Agent, no, it's not going to work. You can't knock down the rear seats. And another thing I like about the boot is the squarish design. You realize that on most boots, right, it's a very awkward shape, you know, something narrow in the middle and something wider further out. So this one, not like that, right? It's got a very nice full square design. So the specs of the car, the 1.8, it'll give you about 13 to 14 kilometers to the litre, and this one weighs in at about 1.45 tons. If you go for the 2-litre version, it'll give you about 12 to 13 kilometers to the litre, and that weighs in at about 1.55 tons. What about the power? For the 1.8 version, you get 160 brake horsepower with about 250 Newton meters of torque, and the 2-litre version gives you 211 brake horsepower with about 350 Newton meters of torque. And the price, alright, for the 1.8-litre version, it's about $14,000 a year. The depreciation is about 14k a year. If you go for the 2-litre version, like I said, if you do find a second-hand one, it depreciates at about $15,000 to $16,000 a year. Now let me tell you what pisses me off about the A4. It's how people relate the brand to being successful. I know there are many expensive Continental cars that you can get out there, but I realize that these two brands, the Audi and the BMW, people tend to exploit it, just because they're trying to pass a statement like, hey, look at me, I'm successful. Until, when I see A4s on the road, and trust me, there are a lot of A4s on the road, I start to get irritated. It starts to lose its kick. You get what I mean? It's like watching a really good movie too many times. You lose the oomph in the movie. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I think that the Audi A4 is a bad car. In fact, I think it's a great car. But I mean, ask yourself this: when was the last time you actually looked at an Audi A4 and say, "Hey, look, wow, that is a really good-looking car." But if someone in your family, or worst off, if your brother-in-law bought a brand new A4, what's the first thing that's going to come to your mind? Wow, not bad, huh? That fella got money, huh? And you see, you must understand, the Audi A4, it is an entry-level sedan, if you don't include the A1s and the A3s, very similar to the 320 from the BMW and the C180 from the Mercedes, And for me, I feel that if it were me, I would rather go for the mid-range or even the high-range Audis, or just totally forget the entire idea of getting an Audi. I mean, okay, it's like this, If you had a child, would you rather the child be the number 1 student in a neighborhood school or the worst student in Raffles Institution? Think about it. Right here in Clutch, it's time for us to rate the Audi A4. So is it going to be a buy, a don't buy, or an I don't know? Well, we here at Clutch, we feel the Audi A4 is definitely a buy.